Kyrios insights: the decline of United States has begun. The outlook for the United States economy is looking very rosy, with many economists expecting 2021 to be the strongest year for the economy since 1951. There are many reasons for this optimism: widespread vaccinations, loosening state restrictions, increased payrolls, and an expected rush of consumer spending as summer holidays begin. However, Kyrios says that this economic revitalization in the US will not last. Kyrios forecasts that the US is destined to face a series of economic and geopolitical setbacks, with signs appearing as soon as July 2021, worsening going into 2022 and becoming even more dire in 2023. Kyrios lists out the setbacks that the US will face. First, despite the current buoyant stock market, Kyrios says that the US stock market will collapse in the near future and struggle to recover. Second, the US will experience an economic downturn. Third, the US reputation and influence globally will wane. Fourth, the US dollar will lose its status as the dominant reserve currency, and the US will face mounting challenges in servicing its debt. Finally, the US will also then cease to be the world's greatest superpower. Why would the United States face this gloomy predicament? Kyrios says that a country's fortune will rise and fall as a result of its actions. Often, the effects of such actions may not appear immediately, but only after a period of time. As the causal relationship of this predicament is not immediately apparent, Kyrios hopes that this knowledge of the causes can help the United States and even other countries to avert such economic decline. Kyrios says that many of the world's wealthiest countries with global influence in the past have asserted hegemonic powers only to see their fortunes decline subsequently. Examples include France, Japan, and Britain. Now, the United States will also see the same fate befalling them. Kyrios says that their misfortunes were due to their accumulated wrongdoings and behaviors. All of these countries, in their time of strength and power, acted with arrogance, waged wars, exercised hegemony over areas colonized, and pillaged resources. Take the British Empire as an example. They started the Opium Wars to bolster trade and exacerbated opium addiction in Chinese society. In the year 1900, they also formed the Eight-Nation Alliance along with 7 other countries: United States, France, Japan, Russia, Germany, Italy and Austria-Hungary, that invaded and pillaged Beijing in North China. The British Empire's oppressive, domineering and other wrongdoings eventually led to their dissolution, and the US dollar even swiftly replaced the pound sterling as the global reserve currency. Kyrios also explains that historically in China, corrupt officials were prevalent across many dynasties and even after the revolutionary period. However, since Xi Jinping took office, he has been governing China impartially, rooting out corrupt officials, serving and protecting the country and its people wholeheartedly, inculcating in people good moral values, and even contributing to world peace, harmony and shared prosperity. Such governance will ensure China and its people continue to experience economic prosperity and success. Kyrios says that the US government did not anticipate that Xi Jinping will become the leader of China in 2013. Under Xi Jinping's leadership, China's economy and influence globally has grown rapidly. Caught off guard by this development, the US now constantly seeks to contain China's rise by rallying allies across governments and organizations, as well as the Western media, to mount widespread campaigns to bring down China's international reputation and standing. The Biden administration even fears that China's One Belt One Road will successfully increase their geopolitical influence and seeks to counter it with the Build Back a Better World initiative with the G7 countries. Kyrios says that the United States' rivalry against China stems from their intense jealousy towards China's economic rise and increasing wealth, as well as the fear and threat that China will supersede them as the global superpower. This disposition is driving them to immoral acts that are accelerating the decline in their economy and fortunes. The US conspiracies include propagating false accusations that the COVID-19 pandemic originated from Wuhan and that China should be held accountable and compensate victims around the world for it.
The nation which unleashed this plague onto the world, China.
As well as misinformation about Xinjiang's internal campaigns on eradicating Islamic radicalization and domestic terrorism. The US creates and spreads these rumors and misinformation all over the world in a bid to undermine China. To maintain its position as the world's most powerful nation, the United States has always regularly exercised its hegemonic power over other countries. Kyrios says that due to all the unconscionable acts and domineering attitudes in the past and present, it is inevitable that the US economy and prestige will now decline. As a result, its people will also suffer as a consequence. However, the severity of this decline and plight of its people can be reduced if the US government repents and ceases the oppression of other countries.
America's armed forces began strikes against ISIL targets in Syria.
Stops provoking wars, refrains from all acts of immorality, hypocrisy and jealousy, as well as discontinues false incriminations and hostilities against China. If the US wants to enjoy continued prosperity and be deserving of the status of a superpower, the leaders must know how to love and care for the earth, respect all lives, and be a genuine steward of peace, harmony and stability for the world. Kyrios has a sincere wish. We're one people with a shared home, Earth. Government officials and citizens of every nationality should put aside their differences, cast away prejudices and any animosity, work together in harmony, lend support where needed, and help achieve global peace and shared prosperity. This is the only path to a future where everyone can enjoy everlasting peace and happiness.
Please like and share our video. Support and subscribe to our channel. No Earth, no life. Save world, save life, save yourself.